Hey Shannon, how you doing? Hi Denim. Just trying to get this all figured out. This is a different perspective for me. How's everybody doing? Thank you, Shannon. Yeah, going live is quite the experience. It's haven't done it crocheting before, so I'm a little nervous about it. Oh, that's all right. Thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. It's always nice to see familiar faces or familiar text as it is. Baja Wildman, how are you? There's a good group of people in here today. This is the behind the scenes for finishing my crochet along. So if you've been following my ocean blue skirt, this is the work I have to do for after the video to get busy, and kind of catch up to the next video. So this is kind of the behind the scenes. I don't know how great I am at multitasking, so crocheting and watching comments can be a little bit tricky. It's kind of a challenge to get this all set up and watch what I'm doing and check out you guys' comments. But I love having your comments, so don't stop. Just because I'm trying to juggle everything, right? All right, I'm going to see if I can flip this camera. Nope, that didn't do the trick I'm looking for. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. I feel like you guys are getting kind of an upside down view. Oh, that's better. A little bit. Well, things we have to work on, right? Baja Wildman, how's it going for you? Are you getting close on your watch time hours? Do you ride in the snow, Baja Wildman? Same. I need a lot of hours too. But we'll stick together. We'll just keep building them up, right? Denim in a wheelbarrow. How are you doing today? Flooding can be spooky. It also can be really cool. But you have to be careful if you're riding anywhere near that, right? Weather needs to make up its mind, right? We had rain. We have rain right now, and we had snow yesterday. I just started playing that Pokemon Go game. Anybody play it? JoJo wanted to get into it, so I got into it with her. We went out this morning and caught a bunch of Pokemon. Chelino Sanchez, how are you? See that? I'm having a hard time committing to where to put these. There we go. That looks more correct. Well, thanks for coming and hanging out with me, Chelino. Your kids' channel is really cool. Little Tomatoes, is that what it's called? Handmade Designs, hi, and thanks for coming. You think my needle's too small? I've never been one to be technical about the needle size. Is that terrible? I just grab a needle that I have and I crochet with it, except for when I'm putting on the border. When I attach the embellishment to the border, I absolutely have to have a really small needle, and then I work my way up. Ah, it is pretty, it's time consuming. Sometimes I crochet with bigger yarn just so I can rip through a project really fast. But this can be quite tedious. The size of the needle, it's a 771. Yeah, sorry, it's a my eyes are getting bad. Can you imagine me trying to do this later when my eyes are even worse? 7, and it's a 1.65 millimeter. Well, for me, it's mostly about trying to find the time to crochet because so many things are going on. And is it just me, or is it everyone that once you start a YouTube channel, you're on YouTube 24/7 and you never have time to do anything anymore. Also, you can use larger hooks and your work will be looser. So that's something to consider if you're trying to crochet along with me or just crocheting and doing your own stitches. What is time? That's a good question. I have no idea because I have none of it. I get up at the beginning of the day thinking I have time, and by the time the day is over, all I did was blink, it feels like. And then I've got these baby birds that I've been hand feeding, and they require it every 2 hours. So you have a rough idea when this live stream is going to end. Sadie Spincraft, hello, and KO Crafts by Kelly. Thank you guys for coming. KO Crafts, I hope you feel welcome. My channel, in case you are new, I'm going to tell KO Crafts. My channel has a few different themes on it. And on Fridays, unless I'm doing live streams, those are for my daughter JoJo, who wants to be a YouTuber. And so she posts her videos on Fridays. And then on Saturdays, I usually post a video about crocheting or crafts of some sort. On Mondays, I post videos about my bird Toki. He's a conure, and he is a cheeky monkey who is just absolutely adorable. But I haven't figured out yet how to include him in a live stream because unless I just have him sit here crochet with me, which means nothing gets done. So, because he's such a big helper. And then Tuesdays are just things that I'm interested in. It can be anything from the weather outside to the projects that I'm working on. All right, let me just evaluate here real fast. I have finished that round. Okay. Sometimes that throws me off. Oh, you're at work. Sorry. Sadie, you're doing a live in a half an hour. I will see if I can catch it when I'm done with mine. I don't know how long you're going to do it for. That would be cool. If you guys don't know Sadie Spincraft, check her out because she does really cool things with yarn. And she's just learning, but it's pretty cool to watch. I don't even know how those of you who do live streams on a scheduled regular thing do it because I am just not that organized. So I just pop up whenever I actually have the time. Handmade, I still need to get to one of your live streams. I've seen that you've had them, and then I have not been able to go and join, and then next thing I know, they're over. See, now blocking is something I need to do because guess what I don't ever, ever do? I never block my work. Ooh, felting would be really cool to see. Thank you very much, Sadie. This design pattern that I'm doing right now is a new one to me. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll want to learn a new stitch. So I'll make a skirt and I'll go learn a new stitch and then I'll add it onto it. And so I don't know if you've ever seen like they call them samplers, and sometimes there's stitches where they do like they use them a lot in embroidery, and they'll just have little things that have a bunch of different kind of embroidery stitches. And so this is my samplers, my skirts. They do hurt your hands. I have like a puncture wound that just barely healed right there on my finger because when I'm doing it, especially when I'm first going around the skirt, sometimes I'll poke in and poke my finger because, that's fun to do. Yeah, small hooks are a little bit more challenging to use, and they are way more tedious. Just in the finer thread, it looks awesome on a skirt, but it is pretty time consuming, pretty challenging to do. Yeah, I'm thinking about reworking my schedule a little bit. I don't have time on the weekends to do live streams, but I think that I would like to designate maybe one particular day of the week. But I don't know. I am enjoying doing live streams, though. They are so much fun. But it's hard to juggle everything, isn't it? I thought so too. Like I said, this one's kind of a new one, but I like how it looks. I don't know if you can tell that it has like the pinwheel kind of a pattern. Oh, handmade designs, I agree. I totally agree. A friend of mine gave me a huge bolt of black, really fine crochet thread. it's thinner than this, and it's softer, so it's like 2 strands of really, like, silky thread, and it is so hard to see. I can't even crochet with it unless I'm out, like, in my car because I have to be able to, have full daylight in order to see what I'm doing. I think we call that old age, and it sucks. Handmade designs, are you saying you're going to be doing more tutorials with the smaller hooks and thread? That will be really cool. I think tutorials are the best. Before I started my channel, I only watched YouTube for the tutorials. That is the only thing that it was good for me for. Now I'm finding out there's all kinds of channels out there, and there's some pretty cool channels out there. There's some I wonder what the heck and why. But I have found that the people behind them are really cool too. In fact, I think that's my favorite thing about YouTube is meeting all the different people that are out there and just learning about their interests and hobbies and finding out that they're actually people, not just videos or texts or, it's not just all virtual. It's pretty cool. Like Sadie, aren't you from England? Thank you, Baja Wildman. Please do. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do. And thank you for joining me today. It's pretty cool that you have your own patterns, handmade designs. I don't follow patterns, and so I'm like I can, but they make me crazy. So that's like intentionally going to do math classes or something. But so writing out my own patterns, that'll never ever happen. Never say never, right? But oof. That's what I thought, Sadie. And I love hearing your accent and watching your videos because it's cool to see. And then handmade designs. I'm not even going to try and guess where you're from, but I know that you have a really cool accent. Do you want to tell us what country you're in? Milo Money, how are you? Thanks for coming. Hi, Karen. How are you? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you guys are here. Milo, no, this is my second live. My first one was just watching baby birds hang out. And I'm gonna do more of those because those are really fun for me. You guys are so awesome, all of you. Like, they told me when I said I'm thinking about going live and I'm so nervous, and I am, and I'm always nervous because things go wrong sometimes, like your camera goes upside down, but whatever, it is what it is. Um, yeah, they're like, "Oh, no, people are so supportive," and you guys are the best, and it's so fun to be able to just kinda chat with you and, you know, a little more than just text. So I love that. Thank you for being here. Okay, Karen, they were talking about a crocheter who or a YouTuber who crochets what? What is NAM? Okay, Milo, you can't even tell, by the way, that you're nervous. You're such a natural. So, Sadie, you're saying it's good to be nervous, keeps you on your toes, makes you sure you're checking everything, doing it right. You're kidding, Karen? Wow, that would stink. Holy cow. If the cops came, oh my gosh, I think I would just die. That'd be the end of it. I have to tell you, Milo and Money, I cannot follow what you say. No, okay, let me restate that. I actually follow and understand what you say more than any other person who talks about finances and money and investing and all that stuff because you're awesome. By the way, you guys, Milo Money is awesome. If you want to learn about investing and all that stuff, he is so good. Okay, that said, numbers are not my thing. And I try and I try. And I'll tell you what, if anybody's going to teach me anything, it's going to be you. But you are so smart, it's ridiculous. And you know what you know, and you're awesome. Master Arts, hi and welcome. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have 10 in my chat. You know what? That's the first double digits I've ever had. Thank you. I have a sneaky suspicion I'm going to have to be taking some of this stuff out just because I can't even remember what row I'm on. But it's okay because I'm having fun. And I hope you guys are too. Thank you, Karen, so much. Maybe if I do get a little more comfortable, I'll bring Toki out and he can crochet with me. That'll be a laugh. You guys won't want to miss that. Toki, if you don't know, is my conure, and he really thinks that he just has to manage and take care of everyone in the house, and he is a hoot. Well, he's not going to let me get anything done if I bring him out. Should I just do it? Okay. Since y'all think he's awesome, I'm just going to pause this for a second. Don't let anybody get lost. I'll be right back. We're going to do this. Might be crazy. All right, say hello to Toki. Mr. Doughboy, welcome. Oh, he's spooked. Come here, Toki. Come here. Come on, buddy. That might make everything go crazy by bringing this bird out here. Come on, Toki. Come on. What you doing? Come here. Might take him a minute to get back here. Come here. There we go. Oh, he's camera shy. He does not like that thing. Sadie, are you taking off? Good luck with your live stream. I'll try and catch it if I'm finished here before you're done. Mr. Doughboy, how are you doing? Well, I broke through the 1,000 watch time hours, and then I've kind of stalled out just a little bit. I don't know that it's stalled, but it feels like it. So, how are you doing on it? On your watch time hours, Mylone? Mr. Doughboy, I'm glad to hear you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good myself. Like I said previously, there's not enough time, like ever. Well, congratulations. 4K it does seem like an awful lot, but I think we can make it. What you doing, Toki? What you doing? He's very suspicious. He can't figure out what's going on, my little Toki boy. So have y'all started learning to crochet yet? I'm mostly talking to the ones who don't already know. Planting a little bee in your bonnet, you know, getting you inspired. Make you think, maybe I can do that. Of course, if you're looking at this and thinking, ooh, I never could, try using a little thicker thread. It's quite a bit easier if you start with thicker thread. Mr. Doughboy, what got you into YouTube then, if you're not in it for the monetization? I realize that there's a lot of people who aren't. I'm just curious more than anything. Oh, cool, Baja Wildman. That's awesome. So you have it in your genetics to be able to crochet. You might find a lot more power by using a hook. Do you know, when I first started crocheting, I was about 8 years old. Just ignore the phone. They call me every day. I might need to get on the ark, if you know what I mean. It did start raining.
Call from the ark. Call from the ark.
Ah, Baja Wildman, it is in your genetics. Oh, very good for you, Mr. Doughboy. So I was saying, I started crocheting when I was about 8 years old. My grandmother taught me, and all I knew how to do was hand cloths, like washcloths or something like that, or afghans. And the thing is I did that for many, many years. I got quite good at it because I'm actually addicted to crocheting. And when my first daughter was born, I decided that I wanted to make her a dress. So I found a crochet book. It was actually gifted to me, of patterns, which I don't follow, but this was one I could actually follow. It was written back like in I don't know, one of the patterns was nightgowns for little boys. So, I mean, that kind of says something there about how old it was. I'm guessing it was like the 1800s, patterns from then. Anyway, it was a very cool book. And so I followed it to make a dress for my daughter. And from there on out, I just kind of went nuts, realizing that there was more to crocheting than afghans. But every once in a while, quite often, just for the relaxation of it, I'll go back and make an afghan because it doesn't take a whole lot of thought pattern for me to whip out an afghan. I just kind of roll through it. So did you make, Baja Wildman, did you make quilts like the tying the quilt, or did you make them, are you talking like crocheting the afghans? I think it's really cool that you're doing stuff with your mom and grandma. Those are the kinds of memories that will last forever. You see how helpful this little boy is? Okay, that's cool. I love to tie quilts. I've never done the quilted, like stitching them. I know a few people do it really, really well. David, welcome. This little dog is a conure, and he's a boss. He's pretty sure he's the one in charge. And he works for head scritches and crackers. He acts tough, but he'll fluff for a head scritch. He's talented. He can crochet. He's just going to crochet for me. Thank you very much. Be soft. I think my finger is a crochet hook. He saves me from these crochet hooks all the time. Passion for Pets, welcome. Yes, he's a very helpful boy. This boy can rip through a computer cord in 0.5 seconds. Passion for Pets, you should try it. The first time I did it, I saw this gown in a picture and I thought, I can do that. And it was a bunch of granny squares. Well, I learned a few things from trying that. One, I don't love granny squares. Two, it takes a lot longer to crochet with thread than it does with yarn. But the first time I did it, I started the project and I put it aside to be finished later. And I didn't ever really finish the project because by the time I got to it, I was no longer interested. But I have turned it into a skirt, and I've made a lot of skirts since then. But one of the other things that I did after the fact, when I decided I would no longer want to commit to that gown, I did a curtain for my bathroom. And it was a forest green color, and it took way, way too long. So I lost interest, but I did finish it. And then I moved on and I stopped crocheting with thread for a long, long time until I tried making myself a skirt. And when I put it on, it added like 20 pounds or more. And I decided finer is better. So then I went back to the thread, and I guess I'd improved enough that I could get through it fast enough to make it worth the time and effort. And so now I crochet these skirts and the embellishments for the skirts, these add-ons. And I have fun doing this. And so it's changed my whole attitude towards crocheting with threads. Loosening your stitches is a good idea, and sometimes you can do that naturally by using a larger hook. These hooks are pretty fine. I try to work my way up from the teeny tiny point I have to use when I'm adding on the initial row for the bottom of the skirts. Come here, mister. What you doing? Good boy. Michael Thornley, welcome. Lurk all you want, but feel free to join the conversation also. Michael Thornley does absolutely amazing videos. Toki, what are you getting all excited about? What you doing? He's very stressed. He does not like the camera setup. He thinks there's a problem here. He'll get used to it though. Anyway, if I didn't finish what I'm saying, Michael Thornley does amazing videos of nature and just gorgeous, gorgeous videos. Tell him, would you, passion for pets? He's very cautious. And he may not actually want to be a YouTube sensation, but I would like him to be. He's definitely a good boy. And Michael Thornley, you're totally welcome. I am just telling the truth. Yeah, Remy, I would imagine probably likes to just munch on the cords and stuff too. Toki loves doing that, and I'm working on getting him not to. He's doing pretty good, but it's taken a while. And every once in a while, he'll still grab one. And he's like kids, you know, you don't want him to do something, and so they do all the time. And it's always at that moment. It's like they won't the whole rest of their lives, but at that moment, when you need to be focusing on something else, that's when they're going to do it. So a little interesting fact, I have not had a problem with my lovebirds chewing on cords, like at all. They don't even care about them. But they will kill a book and wallpaper and any kind of paper. They will just shred right through it. But they leave the cords alone, so that's kind of nice. Congratulations, Michael. I hope you get there quickly. That's a big, you're already double what I am, so good for you. It's a big milestone, isn't it? Michael, are you in Australia? I think that you said that you were. If not, your videos make me think that you are. I love Australia. I was in Australia, Queensland area, for about a year and a half and absolutely loved everything about it. Okay, Melbourne. Nice. I never got to go to Melbourne. But I'll tell you what, if I hang out with Australians for very long, I start having the accent back. Yeah, I love Australia. And that was before I developed my passion for birds. Oh my goodness. I love the cockatoos. Huge flocks of them. They're amazing. Actually, funny story. Oh, hey, what part of Queensland did you live in? Because that's where I was at. Funny story. My son and husband found a bullwhip at a store and bought it and brought it home. And my son learned how to use it. And I actually have a whip from Australia. And so when the bullwhip fell apart because it really was kind of junk, we pulled my Australia whip out and let him use that. Oh my goodness, the boy fell in love. That is absolutely the prettiest places between Brisbane and Sunshine Coast. Well, Cairns is pretty nice too. Can you do it, Michael? Can you crack a whip? My son was able to crack it and get it to crack 3 times on one go. I didn't even know that was possible. I knew you could crack it and get it twice, but I didn't know you could do it 3. So I'm kind of impressed with his whip cracking skills. Now, when I first brought that whip home from Australia, my older brother got all like, yeah, I can do that. To crack that sucker right on his lip. It was the funniest thing. See, I like all things stringy, long, and whips qualify. Yeah, my son, he's totally in. He's like, this is the coolest thing ever, Mom. I bet. Oh yeah, and don't you drive an ambulance too, Michael? Or some kind of first responder something? So you would see that, wouldn't you? Good times, good times. My dad did stuff like that when I was a kid, and I remember one time going somewhere and him getting a call, and we turned around and went right over, and it was a guy that had fallen off of his roof and landed, put his hammer through his gut. Things not on my bucket list. That's awesome. Where did you live in US? Right? Baja Wild Man. Do you ever have any crazy accidents or stuff like that while you're out riding? All right, Michael, you lived in the pretty side. Actually, everywhere is pretty, isn't it? Like, we grow up in a certain place and we get used to seeing how it is and start to take it for granted, but there's beauty in all of the places that we live. Good, you give me hope because my son wants to ride bikes. And you know, every mom's fear is when their boys start riding motorcycles. By the way, parking your bike like that in the dirt, Baja Wildman, was really cool. One of these days, I'm going to totally impress my son and show him that trick, and it's going to blow his mind. And then he's going to think I'm the coolest mom in the world. Do I have to tell him I got it from you? I'm just kidding. I will. Oh. Don't you know all the exes live in Texas? Might have to take a short intermission. Toki is getting up to mischief, and he realizes that he has freedom of the whole place. How long do I dare let him have that reign? Oh, you found some millet. Two, 4, 5. Mama Q's Crochet and Craft, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. How are you doing? I'm accused. Do you, what do you like to crochet? Reneth, hello, welcome. I'm doing well, Mama Q. Thank you. These birds, well, it's like I was saying, I have Toki out here, but he's decided to go run amok off to explore the rest of the room. That can be dangerous. The birds are doing well, though. Okay, for you crocheters out there, am I the only one that gets anxiety from crocheting just through one loop? So like when I'm doing crocheting into chains and stuff, specifically chains, I have to hook both yarns because it drives me nuts not to, except for if it's actually part of the stitch. So like for the rib stitch, I don't hook both yarns, obviously, because you can't do a rib stitch if you do. But whew, like when I'm doing stuff like this, if I just catch the one thread, it drives me nuts to have to undo it and redo it. Oh, cool. Cotton shower poofs and amigurumi. Is that how you say that? Amigurumi? Anyway, I like stuff like that too. I hate saying the word though. One of these days, I will show you the miniature dolls that I've made. They're pretty fun. They're about that tall, about an inch tall. Teeny tiny. Oh, I'll be right back. We have to take that intermission I was talking about. Come here, buddy. Toki found trouble. I'll be right back. Whew, okay. Sorry about that. Little break had to happen. Risks of crocheting with a bird. Crocheting is how I relax. It's how I chill. And I think as I get more comfortable and more experience with doing these live streams, I think we can have a lot of fun crocheting together. So I'm excited about that. You absolutely should try thread, Mama Q. When I first started doing it, like I said earlier, I got bored really fast with it because it does take a lot more time. But if that happens to you, just go back and try again. And the next time it won't be as tedious. It won't feel as tedious. And it's worth doing that. And then just, have fun with it. I find it worth the time and effort when I'm making something that I can wear. And I find that wearing yarn crocheted things has a tendency to add 20 pounds. So it's worth doing the thread just because, we all want to be trimmed just right, right? Oh, I'm sorry you have strep throat. That's terrible. Not going to guarantee this, but a really good remedy for killing those bugs that cause your strep, and really anything that causes sore throats, is cayenne pepper. Sprinkle a little bit in your favorite warm drink, and drink that. And I recommend sipping it through a straw because that will pass your mouth and get it right to your throat where you need it. But cayenne pepper is a natural, healthy way to set your sore throat right. I'm not a doctor. But that's what we used as a kid growing up. And my kids, they'll get a sore throat and they're like, "Mom, where's the cayenne pepper? Mom, will you make me my favorite warm drink?" And next thing you know, they're over it. Telephones. I hope you guys feel better.
Call from Tyler Work. Call from Tyler Work. Call from Tyler Work. Call from Tyler Work.
Ooh, you had your tonsils removed. That would stink. I have not had that problem. So Mama Q, are you working on a shower? You know, a shower thing. What did you call them? The shower. Oh, schools will bring home some nasty stuff, won't they? And that's got to be scary if you've got an immune deficiency, too. Doctors seem to like to do that if you're under anyway, take extra parts. Shower poofs. Thank you. I swear in the last 5 years, my memory's gone to shot, and so has a lot of other things. And do that. I don't like how that's laying. Ooh, I don't blame you. My Q, how scary. People think doctors are always just going to have it all put together for them, but I had a neighbor that went in for just a regular, like, checkup for, cancer or something like that. Wasn't afraid of having cancer, just went to get it checked, the screening. And they scraped something and caused him an infection and sent him home to die a couple months later. 12 is too young. I'm sorry. I'm kind of the same way. When I was a kid, I had two little brothers pass away from SIDS. And when I had my kids, I was so scared of it. I didn't sleep for at least 6 months after they were born. Right? Probably was really more like 10 years, but whatever. You were only 18 when your brother passed away. Wow. It's amazing how different experiences in our lives affect us, isn't it? Anamora, welcome. Thank you for being here. And happy Friday to you. So I'm just working on my, if you're following my crochet along video, this is the behind the scenes. So my video, I show you how to do this stitch and then or these stitches, and then I end it. And now I'm just trying to catch up so I can do the next color and the next stitches for the next, because I'll just keep doing kind of a fade to darker blues. And so for this stitch, I've showed you how to do it on that video, and so now I'm just working on it. So I understand. So many videos, not enough time, right? Yeah, if you want to see this from the beginning, I show you how I attach it on the skirt hem, and then I go on to show you how to do the different stitches. And this one's a really fun one. If you don't know how to do this one, it's pretty cool. And then this one's a new one for me, so I've just had to kind of figure it out, and I kind of like doing that on my skirts, especially because I have to change it up to keep my brain interested in it. And so I'll find new stitches and change it up to either the colors or the stitches. I usually end up changing multiple times. But please do check out my crochet along videos, and well, all of them. Well, I think we're going to do this for about 5 more minutes, and then I need to close out this live stream. I have baby birds that are calling to be fed, and you know, life, it starts to happen right about now. But I am so happy to see you all here. You've been wonderful, and you make the live streams awesome. Without you, it's just me crocheting, talking to myself. Well, that looks like a wonky, doesn't it? I'm going to have to undo that, which means I get to undo the whole row all the way back. So here goes. I'm going to grab a stitch marker here. I find when you find a stitch that's messed up, that it's best to mark it so that you don't undo more than you need to. I'm just going to put this stitch marker right through here and then start unwinding. Right? It's the worst. But I find that if you just accept it and just go, then you end up being right back to where you need to be, and it's like it never happened. That way you can unwind really fast and only cry for a few minutes. Oh, see, I found my stitch marker and went past it just a little bit, but it's okay. Back on track. Now let's see, what did I do there? It's supposed to be 5. Well, I guess there's no point in showing you this stretch all over again, right? You've already seen it. But I would like to take a moment before I close this live stream to thank all of you who have been here, shared your stories with me, shared your time with me, and just for being so amazing. I'm so glad you're here, and I look forward to seeing more of you. And, well, you know what I say. Have a fantastic day.